Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Now, I've previously told you, let's not be naive. We're not going to get the changes we need, the taking away form seriously, taking defensive responsibilities at this club seriously, and every other thing that is wrong on terms of our on-field playing performance as to why we're not at the top four or competitively challenging for league titles and beyond. We can get into the micro of it, but let's just focus on the macro. We already know, innit? Like, but one thing we can see in preseason is a start. Now, preseason is just over a month. That's not enough time for players to be fully fit. They're only fully fit well into the season or understand tactics and things like that. But it's like you saw with Pep. It's a chance to start. It is a chance to get it properly. Like I said, the defensive problems are not going to be eradicated, but it's a chance to. It is actually a chance for us to know our responsibilities defensively, to know our own individual player responsibilities, and to know everybody else's. To move like a well-drilled, organized unit. To shuffle. Oh, let me try. Let me see if this works, man. Let me see if this works in my hand. So if we got four, let's just do it with two, because I ain't got four hands. Let's just imagine there's two more people. Move side to side. If the fullback goes, everybody shuffles and tucks in. The fullbacks tuck in. I mean, the centre halves tuck in. The fullback from the other side tucks in. Again, if one centre defender steps into midfield to ball play, let's just say it's Koscielny, El Nene or whoever recognises that and just covers in for him. Or even, because we like to play a high line, just drop the line deeper. Or fullbacks become narrow. It's simple things like that in terms of being proactive. That's not going to happen in a month, but there is a start. That can be a start. One thing, even stronger case for us at least making a start, and I will not accept it if the start is not made, whether it's Arteta or whatever manager we've been linked with. The majority of our players are going to be here. Now, we know pre-season's a bit mad when it's international football, because depending on when your country's eliminated is depending on when you're going to get a break, or at least historically that happened at Arsenal. We like to give people a month, 2 weeks to a month off. Alexis probably the only one that bucked the trend because a man refused to get the rest. Maybe with Arteta that's different. I mean, City and Liverpool, their players will get rested, but I guarantee you will see Salah the first game of the season. You will see Kevin De Bruyne first game of the season if they're not injured and fully fit. If that's Arsenal, you see the time wasting sort of thing. So one benefit we have is that many players are not going to the World Cup. So we have the majority of our squad to work with. Everybody's there. It can be quite counterproductive when you're trying to implement systems and tactics and stuff, and the bulk of your players are some people are still in the international tournament, the World Cup that's coming up. Some people have been eliminated and they're on holiday. Some people are injured. People are not fully fit. You've got some young players to make up the squad. It's a bit of a mismatch. But I believe the only players that are actually going to the World Cup is world-class Mesut Ozil, Granit Xhaka, Iwobi for Nigeria. El Nene's going. I'm sure El Nene's going. Danny Welbs is going. There's about 5. I might be missing someone else out. Fingers crossed for Monreal with that Spain squad, but that's wishful thinking. Jack's not going either. So there's about 5 players at best. So that means the likes of Mustafi, Lacazette, Jack Wilshere, Monreal probably, Bellerin, not making their respective nation squads for whatever reason. They're not making it. So that's all the defenders now. Koscielny would be there, but he's injured. But at least with Monreal, with Bellerin, with Czech on paper, if we don't get another keeper, and who, let's just say, holding centre-half, there's a chance for us to improve that back line, for us to work with that back line, for us to take pride in defending, because you can't build a house backwards. They're all there. They're actually all there for the bulk of pre-season. Like, they're not going to miss it. I think even Maitland-Niles, Jeffrey Adelaide, Nketiah, maybe Reece Nelson for the under-19s, but them 3 that I listed before Nelson at under-21 level for their respective nations, they'll be playing in the Toulon tournament. I think that finishes before pre-season starts, so depending on the rest, they might still be there and available. Fingers crossed for Rene Adelaide. I want to see him fully integrated. So it's a chance on paper for us to at least try, man, because you look at Spurs. They got a few players going off, so their pre-season plans, I'm overstating it, but their pre-season plans are going to be disrupted a bit because you got Vertonghen's off, Toby on paper, whether he's still at the club, is going to be off, Hugo Lloris is going to be off, Harry Kane is obviously going, I'm so sure Son's going, Eriksen's going, Dele Alli's going, you get what I'm saying? Liverpool, you got Firmino, you got Trent Arnold, you got Mignolet probably go with Belgium, to be honest. You got a couple players in it. Chelsea, you get the point. Giroud, Alonso will probably go. Azpilicueta will probably go. You get the point I'm making. United, there's a few, and so on and so on. So if the bulk of our players are going to be there, in theory, you have more time than these other City many players as well. you have more time than these other clubs to work with your team. I'm not assuming just because we have longer that we're going to immediately be ahead of these lot, because that is not the way of thinking. That's naive. But what we can do is make a start, and I have to see us taking pride in defending. Personally, if I don't see pride in defending, and if I see certain people starting in goal, I'm going to give up on the season before it starts, to be honest. Even Ramsey and them man there will be there as well, and our pre-season thing, we've got a lot. You forget we've got a lot of commercial duties. I believe in July or so we go to Singapore. We'll play Atletico Madrid and PSG on the 26th / to the 28th of July. I believe in the International Cup respectively. Then we return to Europe to play Manchester City in Dublin. I've got August the 1st. There was rumours that might not be happening, so that might be cancelled. And then we complete our tour with a game. We complete our tour going to Sweden and playing Chelsea in Stockholm. So we're playing City in Dublin and we're playing Chelsea in Stockholm. So we're going to 3 different regions. That's a lot of travel time. That's a lot of air miles and things like that. When you factor in, of course, Russia, don't know this, but it's around the corner. There's still a lot of air miles, because if you imagine, if you're a player that, let's just say El Nene goes to the World Cup, they played Egypt. I hope they go through, but Egypt plays 3 games, they go out. He's now going to have to get a break. He might get a break, or he might go straight from Russia to Singapore. No, in fact, they won't interlap. The World Cup will be done by then. It would be done by then. But he might come back to England also for his rest, and then he's got to go in for, let's just assume he meets the boys in Sweden or so. It's a lot of air miles and travel time and things like that. And I also forgot, I believe on July the 14th, don't quote me, I believe it's a day before a day before the World Cup final. I believe we play Boreham Wood in our pre-season friendly thing as well. So there's a lot of football to be played. There's a lot of, obviously the Boreham Wood side, that'll probably be a number of young players and also, but definitely against PSG, Atletico, Chelsea and City, there's a chance to try and learn how to defend and implement that in pre-season against some top opposition. Of course, all this opposition, including us, we're not going to be fully fit. It's going to be weak in size. The tempo's not going to be there. There's going to be several things such as that. But there's a chance. And also on a side note, of course, there's no Emirates Cup this year because they're not rebuilding, but there's some rebuilding work going at the Emirates to increase their capacity a little bit, I believe. Whether that's Arsenal and Spurs still being childish with each other, I don't know. But yeah, it's also a chance for Aubameyang and Lacazette to fully integrate into the side and for the team to play to their strengths, sort of thing. So it's definitely, for someone like Arteta or the new manager, it's definitely, for what it could have been in the World Cup year, with the window closing early, with several things going down, contracts and stuff, it definitely could have been harder. But this is how we're going to see what the board's really on, because the contract business needs to be sorted out by them. I'm not even getting that's nothing to do with the manager. Ramsey, Welbs, whoever's up in 20, the young boys in Nelson and Maitland-Niles, hopefully they get new deals. But whoever doesn't want to be here, you need to sell them, and we need to do things quick. Look at City. They brought them left backs and all them players in very early in the window. Then they started working on tactics, and then they didn't lose a game until November and then April, and they ran away with the league. You see what I'm saying? Of course, it's not as white and black as that, but you get the point. And on that note, I've got nothing more to say. I'm sorry for taking up too much of your time, people. Guys, deluded, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. Thank you for watching. I'm out.